All right, so here we have the Shure Aonic Free. So check that out. So this is the first set, as far as I can tell, of true wireless earbuds from our friends over at Shure. Now, Shure, they've done some true wireless adapters for their in-ear monitors, but never a dedicated true wireless earbud. As far as I can tell, I've been looking through their inventory to see what else is available, and I haven't seen anything quite like the Aonic Free on their website. So interesting product. So let's go ahead and crack it open. So this is how it comes. This is the box, right? Kind of round, a round shape here that we got, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and pop it open. And there we go. So we take the lid off here. You've got a quick start guide. That's the very first thing that greets you. So see that here real quick. Yeah, it's the usual. Shows you how to pair them, tells you what the controls are, charging, LED behavior. Nice. Yeah, easy to read, easy to understand. So that'll get that, pretty straightforward. You can figure that all out. Then you have the earbuds themselves. Now, let's make sure we get the elephant in the room out of the way immediately. And yeah, these are some chunky boys. Like that is a big case. This case is easily around the same size as the one for the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds. So these are some big. That's a big chunky case. Like there's really no other way to say that. Sure, I don't know what was going on over there, but this is a chunky case, man. Like there's no other way to say that. Like that, this thing is it is stately. That's probably the right word for it. It's stately. So put it like that. So let's set that aside real quick. Those are the earbuds. Okay, and then inside here looks like we've got a instruction manual. Probably, yeah, that's like the full manual there. We got a USB A to USB C right here, and then we've also got the Comply memory foam ear tips. So these are actually Comply branded memory foam ear tips. So pretty interesting. Like I said, I've already opened them up because I wanted to make sure that I got the proper size and fitment, so I wouldn't have to be sitting here messing around with that. But that's what you get in the box with the Shure Aonic Free. Let me go ahead and put that down. Let's go ahead and put that right back in there. And we've got that covered. So, hey, what's up, everybody that's just popping in? We are doing a live look and a live listen of the Shure Aonic Free on the channel today. So, huge shout out to everybody who's popping in. Really, really appreciate every single one of you. Let's take a look at these earbuds real quick. So, let me set that aside here real quick, move that out of the way, get the box right there. All right, so here are the earbuds themselves. We got the Shure branding on the top. On the bottom underside right here, you've got the USB-C charging port. And then looks like you've got a one single LED light right there. And then here are the buds themselves. Now, we got these in this red, which is a pretty interesting color. I think they also offer them in like a dark gray kind of a look. So pretty interesting. Now, the case itself does have a matte finish, but the buds themselves are kind of a glossy finish. So pretty interesting. But yeah, these are some chunky earbuds. Like, wow, man. So just to give you like a little bit of context, let's see, what do we have right here? So, well, these right here are the Jabra 85T. So just to kind of give you, come on, there we go. Just to give you a little bit of context here, the size of the earbuds. I mean, that's a huge, stark difference there. So pretty interesting. But yeah, so that's what we got. We've got the Shure Aonic Freeze right here. There's some chunky boys, man. What is going on here? So the design, um, I'm a little bit concerned here about this design. Like huge case, huge earbuds. I don't get it. You know what I mean? It seems unnecessary in 2021, considering how a lot of the brands are going to miniaturization, trying to get them as small as possible while providing features and stuff. So I'm a little confused as to why the large size. I'm sure you guys probably might feel the same way. Yeah, they're big. These are easily about the same size as what you get with the Bose Quiet Comfort, and same thing for Bose. Like the Quiet Comfort earbuds, those are some big earbuds, right? But they bring it. So I can forgive the size because they bring it. So we're gonna have to give these a listen and let's see, how they do. But let's see here. All right, just going through checking the comments. Got that MKBHD color scheme going on. Yeah, absolutely, man. So they look like XM3, kind of. Yeah, kind of. They're pretty big, man. They're up there. So yeah, it's pretty wild as far as the size goes. But like I said, I've already got them paired up. Today for this, we're going to be using my Mi 11 Lite. Whoop, there we go. Shout out to Psylocke from the X-Men there. And let's see. Let me go ahead and take them out. Make sure we get paired up here. All right. See the blue LED lights start flashing on these guys. So we should be pairing up. Yep, there we go. Now we're connected. Now there is an app. So these do feature app support. So you do get that. It is the Shure Play app. So let me go ahead and put that back down here. So you got the Shure Play app right here. So I'll go ahead and hit that. And they should self-connect here shortly. Yeah, there it goes. So once it detects it, it'll actually pair up to them automatically. So there you have a look at what the app actually looks like here. You see the battery life on the earbuds. Environment mode. Environment mode is essentially ambient sound. So that's what environment mode means from them. It's ambient mode or transparency. Hear through. Everybody's got a different name for it. It's essentially the same thing. You're just turning on the microphone so you can hear what's going on around you. So that's what's going on there. But yeah, and then you've also obviously you can turn it on, and then you also get a slider so you can actually adjust the strength of that environment mode. So you got that option there. And then they got Pause Plus, which is kind of interesting because Pause Plus, it basically it turns on the ambient sound. It turns it on and off based on you pausing the music. So like let's say you listen to music and then you hit pause, it'll automatically turn on the ambient mode, the environment mode, which is kind of slick. I think that's kind of a cool feature. I kind of like that. Like it's like a smart ambient. So pretty interesting. It's I'm surprised that nobody's done it. And like nobody else has done this. And maybe somebody else has, but so far in all of the earbuds that I've tested that have ambient sound, I have not seen this as a feature. So kind of interesting. Kind of interesting if you ask me. And then obviously you've got the different controls here. So you got the different stuff going on. They do have the ability to change up what the controls do. So you do have adjustable controls, which is pretty interesting. So you do have that as an option here. So let me go ahead and back out of there. So you got button controls, prompts and tones, battery and power, busy light, things like that. There's also an EQ. So it does come with a bunch of EQ presets, and you can create your own if you wanted to create your own. So this is really interesting. They come with this 4-point parametric equalizer. So it's pretty in-depth. Takes a little bit of getting used to because it isn't your standard 5 bar, 6 bar, graphic EQ. So this one is definitely takes you a bit of a learning curve to get accustomed to it. But yeah, so that's something just to think about. But you do get looks like we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 custom presets already. You got bass boost, bass cut, treble cut, vocal boost, de-essing, and loudness. So you got a couple of different ones there built straight into it. And then obviously you get your settings as well. So if you want to go in there and do any sort of firmware updates, anything like that, they'll have you covered when it comes to that. So I'm going to go back over here. Let's go into Amazon Music HD. So we're going to go in there, go into my El Jefe test playlist. So that's what we're going to do. So next up, we're going to get into this live listen so I can give you my initial impressions of the Shure Aonic Free so we can see kind of what's going on with that. If anybody's interested in the price or anything of that nature, there are links to this product in the description of this video. So make sure you go ahead and click that link, and that'll take you over to the most updated pricing. So I always have trouble like mentioning prices on videos because prices tend to change over time. So if I sit here and say, yeah, that this costs, $1,000, and then 5 days later, they're $500, and then 2 weeks later, they're $1,200. So it's always changing. So this is why I normally will not say the actual price of a product because it's always changing. So it's such a pain, man. If you want to stay correct, because as soon as you say the price of something, you'll have 10 people in the comment section saying they're not $100. They're $125. Oh no, in my country they cost 76 euro. Like it's trust me, this is for the best. This is for the best. I'm gonna take these headphones off. So we're go ahead and try out a few tracks with these. So here we go. But I appreciate everybody coming through and hanging out. Let's see here. All right, so these are memory foam. So just to be clear, they are using memory foam ear tips. These are the Comply memory foam ear tips. So I always squeeze these down to make sure that they fit into my ear properly. Sorry about that. Just smack the mic. All right, there we go. And let's get the other one. And then you obviously got to give them a sec. You got to give them a sec to warm up and kind of fill out into your ear canal there. So let's give them a sec here. Okay. All right, so let's give them a sec. But and right now, at least now you can sort of see what they look like. And mind you, I have gigantic ears. So if you're looking for a discreet set of earbuds, these ain't it. These are not it, man. So again, begs the question to Shure, why? Why did we go so big, man? So I just don't understand. I don't understand. So all right, so we're paired up. Looks like I feel like the foam's filling out already in my ear canals because I can feel the isolation, which is good. So all right. So we got some songs here. We've got a bunch of different tracks. Obviously, this is my El Jefe test playlist on Amazon Music. So there's a lot of different songs that we can choose from. I think, let's see, I'm gonna try one here really quick. Let's see here. Slightly Hungover is a good one by Blues Delight because it's a live band that's playing. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this one out. Let's see here. But one thing I will say, so let me just to address something in the chat as well. Um, these are actually quite comfortable. Like they're surprisingly light. I don't feel them really putting any pressure on my ear. Only the foam expanding in my ear canal. That's the only thing I feel, but they're yeah, these things they feel good. Like they're it's not uncomfortable at all. I'm actually kind of surprised. These are surprisingly comfortable. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, man. So, yeah, but let's see. So I think yeah, I'm gonna go with Blues Delight. Let's give that a first listen here real quick. Let's see how this goes. Find the right volume there. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so that's just testing it with like a live band. So this is a song you guys can check out for yourselves if you ever decide to. Like I said, it's called Slightly Hungover by Blues Delight. And it's basically like that whiskey blues, it's just kind of that old school chill type of a sound. So it's kind of a groove, right? So listening to the live recording, I can just tell you kind of I'm gonna try a couple different songs also to kind of get a more rounded opinion of it. But so far, these are very neutral, so very, very neutral. So they're more it seems like they're going for more of that accurate type of sound. So they don't feel dynamic, they don't feel V-shaped, they feel much more flat. They feel much more neutral when it comes to the tuning. So kind of a surprise considering that most of the earbuds that you get on the market right now are usually very dynamic. Like you get that bass boost and that treble boost. These feel opposite. These feel more neutral. These feel more, if anything, mid forward. So kind of interesting. So let's pick out a second song here. So let's see what else we got. So it's back out of there. We got, let's see here. Got some hip hop. We got some old school. Uh, try a little Metallica. Let's go with that real quick here. Hmm. Okay. 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 So listening to Metallica, Nothing Else Matters is the one I'm listening to. So some of you might be familiar with this track from Metallica. Obviously, it's going to be, uber famous. Um, there is some pretty good instrument separation happening here. Like I'm hearing the drums, I'm hearing the cymbals over here, I'm hearing the guitar back kind of behind you, and the vocals are very present. So definitely some separation going on, some pretty decent sound stage too, with a live kind of like a live recording. So very, very interesting sound. So more accurate, but like I said, very neutral. This is what it feels like to me. That's the word that keeps coming back into my head, is a very neutral type of sound. Um, let me see. And then, yeah, definitely again, emphasized mid-range for sure. So let's move over to something with a bit more bass. Let's get into a little bit of hip hop here. Um, let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, Blue Laces 2 is always a good one by Nipsey Hussle. Let's do that one real quick. Okay. 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 So yeah. All right. So that gives me sort of a rounder opinion now on what the bass is going to sound like. I want to try one more though, because that song has some good bass, but I want something with more emphasis on sub bass. So let's try we're going to try E40 right here, you and that. Okay. So all right. So that's giving me a good round let me take those off. A good round idea of what I'm listening to. Now, mind you, just to be clear, I normally listen to way more songs than this to do a test, but this is going to give me the ability, at least listen to these tracks, the variety of sound, the live band recording, plus some hip hop and stuff in there and some vocals to give me an idea of exactly what the type of sound signature that Shure was aiming for with the Shure Aonic Free. And like I said, what kept popping into my head here was neutrality, and balance. So that was really what was coming to mind. So when I was listening right now to Blue Laces 2 by Nipsey Hussle and You and That by E40, there is no emphasis on sub bass. Like there's some, but the bass here is very accurate. It's very tight. So it's not like a boom and then rumble where it stays. It's like a quick hit and out. It's like in and out, just boom, boom. And it's very accurate. It's You can tell that they went for this type of sound signature where they were going for that in-ear monitor type of feel, like more neutral balance, more studio monitoring type of sound versus the consumer friendly big bass, big treble type of sound. So that's a pretty interesting sound signature to hear from Shure. Now it doesn't surprise me that it's coming from Shure, being that they're in professional studio type of equipment. That doesn't surprise me at all. I was just expecting something a little bit different, being that this is more along the lines of a true wireless earbud. It's more of a consumer type of product, because when you think of professional musicians, you're thinking of wired headphones, wired IEMs, things of that nature. So hearing something like this is pretty interesting. So I would have to say, when it comes to the bass, for sure, it's going to be subdued, very accurate. So, but it's not like punchy, it's not bloated, and not at all in your face. So you're not going to get that stank face bass. You know what I'm talking about? LaShawn knows what I'm talking about. Where you're like, you know what I'm talking about? Where you smell something nice, you're like, yeah, like that. You feel free to screenshot me like that. Yeah, that's that stank face right there. But yeah, so when it comes to the Shure Aonic Free, bass heads need not apply. Like this is not going to be for you. If you're a bass head, you can go ahead and stay away from these. Just being real, just being straight with you. The Shure Aonic Free are not going to be your cup of tea. Hashtag bars, right? So that's not going to be for you. Just just keeping it 100%. When it comes to the mid range, it was much more mid forward. Listening to the different tracks, listening to the vocals, definitely much more mid forward. The vocal clarity is actually really good. So I was very surprised because when I was listening to like Metallica, um, the the lead singer's voice was coming through really clearly, despite having the drums and the guitars going in the background. There was really good separation there. So very good for that. So definitely much more mid forward, good soundstage, good instrument separation as well. So definitely what you want for a neutral monitoring type of sound. Treble wise, it seems like it's crisp, but I didn't hear a lot of extension in it when I was hearing the cymbal crashes, when I was hearing things like that. It wasn't getting up into that like where it would get too peaky or too bright. It wasn't getting there. So but obviously more testing is needed, obviously, but so far, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to the sound of the Shure Aonic Free. So really what it comes down to is if you're the type of listener who likes big bass, then these aren't going to be for you, like just straight up. Like you've got plenty of other options. Like 99% of the true wireless earbud market will have you covered when it comes to bass, but these are not for that whatsoever. So just something to keep in mind. But if you're looking for something with a much more accurate sound, then yes, then these are a good option when it comes to something more accurate for audio monitoring. Or if you have the personal preference, like your own listening preferences, and you like a more neutral, balanced sound, then this is probably going to be the right product for you. Um, so now let's get into some of my thoughts around these. So for being that this is their first entry into a true wireless market here with Shure, with these Aonic Frees, um I'm going to give them some leeway here to an extent, but I also need to make sure we call some things out, because I know that they're probably going to be watching this, and I want to make sure that they hear at least a bit of the constructive criticism and some of my perspective, coming from someone who's testing a lot of earbuds. I like to um I think that I have my finger on the pulse when it comes to this market. So there's some things that I want to make sure we address. So being it's like I said, first entry into the market. So we're taking that into account here. While these do provide a balanced and accurate sound signature, this sound is not going to be for everyone. It's not going to be for most people, and that's perfectly fine, because what these feel like, um they feel like they're a specific tool for a specific type of job, like monitoring audio wirelessly. That's what they feel like they're for. So and for that purpose, they're going to be great. Like when they find that customer, that's exactly who's going to want this, and it's going to be great. Or the people who are interested in true wireless earbuds, that are very comfortable and that have that flat balanced type of sound, if that's what they're looking for, then this is going to be really, really good. So that's what we're looking for. So sorry, I'm gonna get to you guys in the chat. I'm just kind of going through what I'm doing here, so I don't lose what I'm thinking about, because I didn't write down any of these notes. Um, so secondarily, price wise, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys the price. The price on these is 199 as of right now in the United States. So prices obviously will vary. So make sure you hit the link in the description just in case you are watching this in the future and maybe the price has gone down. You never know. So just want to make that clear. But there's a lot of things missing from these earbuds. A lot of things missing, because the main features here are going to be accurate sound quality, the environmental mode, which is their ambient sound, and then app support with like EQ customization and button customization. But aside from that, they're missing literally everything else that most of the other earbuds in this price range, that they offer you. You know what I mean? Because for what these are by themselves in a vacuum, they're pretty good. You know what I mean? For what they are. But when you start taking into account all of the other options from 150 to $200, we got some problems. We got some problems here, and it makes them a tougher recommendation. So just to be clear, there's no wireless charging on the Shure Aonic Free. So no wireless charging on this case. I mean, as big as this case is, I'm really surprised by that. I'm really surprised that they couldn't have managed to find a way to put wireless charging on this case. If Earphone can do it with theirs, if the Sony XM4 can do it with theirs, if Jabra can do it with theirs, I don't see why Shure couldn't have done it with this one. Secondarily, there's no in-ear detection. So as far as I know, there is no autoplay and pause, so no in-ear detection on these earbuds. Third, there is no active noise cancellation. So they are relying on the Comply memory foam for passive noise isolation, which does work well. Like, don't get me wrong, it does work well. But passive noise isolation from memory foam is good for your mid-range tones and your higher frequencies, but not really good for bass tones the way that active noise cancellation would do. So just keep that in mind. Also, there is no multi-point connectivity on these guys, so you can't connect them to multiple devices. So also something to keep in mind. And then lastly, I mean, they are freaking huge, and it seems like they're huge for no reason. Because if you're gonna have these earbuds be this big, I'd want dual drivers. I'd want all the bells and whistles, 8 freaking mics on them, crazy amounts of battery life. Like these have like 7 hours of battery life. For an earbud this big, I'm like, just why, right? It begs the question of why. So at the very least, you're still getting Bluetooth 5, but we don't have Bluetooth 5.1 or 5.2. You get SBC, AAC, and aptX, which is good, but we don't have aptX adaptive, which is kind of interesting. So that's one of the things why it kind of makes these a bit of a tougher recommendation here, the Shure Aonic Free, um, because for what they're offering you, there isn't a lot of value to be had here, considering the other products that are available on the market from 150 to $200. That's where you've got the Beats Fit Pro. That's where you've got the Liberty 3 Pro, Jabra Elite 7 Pro. Even the OnePlus Buds Pro. I mean, you got so many different really, really good earbuds that are playing in that price range, that it just makes these kind of a tough sell. So overall, I mean, like I said, these are a tool. The Shure Aonic Free, to me, they feel like a tool for a very specific job. And for that job, they will do it very well. But I would love to see an earbud with this type of sound signature, because this is actually a very nice and pleasant sound. And it's different from the other stuff that I have in my lineup of earbuds. But I would love for them to also bring it with the other features that many of the true wireless earbud enthusiasts have come to expect from earbuds in this price range. So that's just a bit of constructive criticism that's going straight over to Shure. Hopefully that it doesn't fall upon deaf ears. I think this is a good first attempt, but on this, whatever comes next from this, they're going to really have to pay attention to what's going on in the market and be, I would say, a bit more competitive, offer a bit more value for the price. If you're going to play in this $200 price point, you got to freaking bring it. You got to freaking bring it. So that's it, man. That's my word. So overall, I like the way they sound, but the price on them for what they offer is a bit too high.